part of what I wanted to get at with Reckless, because when I remember seeing the vinyl, and I heard it after it had come out, given my age and my exposure and stuff, but I realized that, it was you guys. Ice's name wasn't on it except real small. Rap Ice-T.
Rap by Ice-T.
And I was like, wait a minute. At that point, I was very early in learning about rap, but I started noticing and I understood that it was about the DJ, it was about all these other things, but I was also like, wait a minute, Ice-T is the one who's on the song that I'm hearing. How come he's not higher profile or named or whatever? So how did the labeling and how the song's identified, how did that come about the way it is?
If you go to any artist today and ask them that question, guess what they're going to tell you? Same shit I'm going to tell you. I don't fucking know, bro. I didn't make that label. I didn't tell them, put this. I wish I was that powerful to put Rap by Ice-T in little letters. Right. But this is the thing. Rap wasn't really nothing. Right. See, nobody, look, they had 11 songs. They hit us at the last, they called me. Hey, man, you think you can make a rap thing off of one of those things you did for the movie? I said, okay. I took the first one. Now remember, I ain't made no record. I just did Breaking and Entering. Ain't no raps on those really, except maybe, ain't no raps on them.
Right, I was about to say. Yeah.
It's all instrumental. We wasn't producing vocalists. It was like, that dude raps over there. I don't know nothing about that. Okay. Right. So they said, okay. I said, okay, I need some money then. They said, okay, we'll give you X. I gave all that money to Ice because I got paid so much money from the thing, but I obviously had spent it by then. I needed some money to pay Ice-T, so I just said, okay, cool. So this is what happened. This is 1984. Mm-hmm. Hey, Ice, can you come through the studio and put one of them things, a song like how we do at the thing? He was like, yeah, man, for sure. It wasn't no money thing talk, but when he came, it was like, I had him $1,500. Like, here, this is 84. That's like 15,000.
I was about to say, that's a gang of money.
Right, it's a lot.
That's a gang.
I was like, wow. And he was already getting money. We was getting like $1,300 a week.
That's a lot back then, too.
For the movie.
Yeah.
That's movie scale. I gave him that for the night. He was there for 6 hours.
Right.
And that shit was one take. I don't even remember no paper. All these people talk about that shit about, hey, Jay-Z don't write nothing. Ice was rapping every night on stage. He was freestyle, pay style. What you talking about freestyle? Who made that dumb shit up? Slavery. So anyway, freestyle is slavery. Right, Dane? Anyway. I digress. So the whole thing with the labeling, when I saw it, I was like, cool, because it was like Grandmaster Flash in the Furious 5,
okay.
Eric B. and Rakim, Chris the Glove and Ice-T. That's just what it was, because let me tell you the secret. The original B-boy, you can take all them elements, graffiti, who wants to claim to be the backbone of hip-hop, and rappers, no offense, Dane, watch what I'm telling you. All of this shit would be a convention without music.
Yeah, you got.
It would be a dichotomy of words. People would be standing up there talking about things all in prose with no music. You put music and it's a party. As soon as the music starts, they rap to the beat. As soon as they get on beat, people dance. B-boy stands for break boy, as in break beat, as in the DJ is the first B in B-boy. Fuck everybody else. If it ain't no party, it's just a bunch of people standing around. It's a protest. That shit's dull. Right. It wouldn't have started hip-hop.
Right.
But them beats banging and them dudes on beat and them cats dancing all together.
On beat.
You could have taken any other elements out. You keep the music, it'll still go. You take the music, that shit's an old thing that happened in the 60s or 70s.
Right.
What do you think?
No, I agree. And that's why, fast forwarding a bit, that's why when people would always ask me what songs I liked or what's more important, it's always the beat. Because the beat dictates everything else about the song, and the artist has to work in concert with the music in order to make a great song. And as you know, there's so many artists that are great lyricists or have great rhymes, but they can't make songs. And because they can't make songs, their popularity never reaches where it could if they could make songs. And that's the difference, in my opinion, of why a freestyle rapper or a backpack rapper or whatever, a punchline heavy dude that isn't able to make that transition that's why they can't, because they can't make songs. And songs are what drives it, and the songs are based off the music.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the music business. So, like, it's not the song, it's the song business, but it's not the vocalist business. It's not the singer business. It's the music business. Singers can sing. Okay, so let me just put this to you. Name me one rapper with a acapella album that sold 1 million copies. And then I'll turn around and tell you a producer who put out an instrumental album and sold millions of copies.
Right. Yeah.
There's even a #1 instrumental. There was one #1 acapella song, Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Well, that's not even a cappella all the way.
He's singing the melody and bouncing
there's
the beat.
melody,
There's instruments in there.
There's instruments in there.
They came from here.
Yeah.
So it's not the same. Okay, so you know what happens?
It's not fully a cappella.
Right.
It's
you
close.
know what that would be called if rappers and those people wrote lyrics and did their thing and put them out without music? What? Books.
It'd be a written book. It'd be poetry.
Poetry.
It'd just be poetry.
Right. But they'd be written down on paper or whatever, not on CDs with music.
To your exact point, even the spoken word, when we get to Gil Scott-Heron and the Last Poets and the Watts Poets, all the great artists like them, they all put music. Even Dolomite.
Right. They didn't crack without it.
They all had music underneath it.
And they knew that. Yeah. So this is the thing. In the music business, or in the music writing history overall, there's two types. Now, there are singers. This is how music is supposed to be written. I write a song. I have a melody. I sing my song to myself. I go seek out a musical accompaniment.
Right.
I've written my song and the melody. And now I'm going to find someone who can accompany me. Can you play along with this? La 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 la. That's how songs are written. If a song, that's a 50-50 split at ASCAP.
You got to explain that. It's a songwriter.
That's a songwriter and a musical accompaniment. They wrote it like this. Well, actually, no. The music was written separate but brought in as an accompaniment because the melody and the lyrics existed. When you write to a track, you actually don't get 50%. You're supposed to get 40% off top because you were inspired by the music. You get it? We're the muses. We make the music. Y'all write to it. Y'all don't write no, give me this rap. Here's a beat. No. So, but we give y'all 50%, it's cool. But I know the truth and the law. So, it's a weird thing, but you just can't have music industry. So an industry is when a business becomes profitable enough to where they can have a public interest in group. And then in that group, they can give money to public and,
well, speaking of money,
politicians.
Speaking of money and Ice-T, the thing that I always thought was interesting with Ice as his career progressed is very early on, obviously he was in the streets, but he also was doing parties. He was starting to make records. He, had appearances in films early on with Breaking and different things. And what did you see and notice about Ice back in 83, 84, 85, before 6 in the morning that made you, did you feel like, oh man, this guy's got something special?
That is a star.
Well, tell me, what was it?
Okay, so this is how I did radio. I was delivering speakers. They were already going for a while. They had another group, DJs, Shake City was in there before me. Shout out to Trev and Chevy Shank and Suave and Booker. All those cats was in there holding it down. I mean, I just came in and kind of rocked the house. And so they just was like, okay, this is what happens. We heard you're a DJ, the promoters. I'm like, yeah, I'm a DJ. What's your DJ name? Stuck, right? I ain't never had that.
Okay.
DJ Chris? Nah. Come back tonight at 11. We want to hear you. You can just go on. We'll have a name up there because we put everybody's name on the marquee, up in the lights and the thing. So like, okay, cool. So I come back. I'm, like today, 11-ish. I get up there. I look up. 11 p.m. The glove. That's me. I go DJ. It could be a dude that was in the bathroom, like using the bathroom, waiting to come out. And I was up there DJing when he came out and was like, I'm the glove. I don't know. I saw that name in lights.
And you were like, that's it?
They said 11, they have a name for me, and there it was. God had been doing that for me since before then.
Okay.
So I walked into that name, which was a stage and lights.
Wow.
I just walked in and DJ'd. If I was whack, it would have ended. since I could hold up to the lights, they weren't hot and melted me. I like lights. I was up in there like backward, behind the back, whatever, elbow scratch, under the leg, throwing records in the crowd. Nobody does that still. They can't throw a record at a dude to throw me a record and put the shit on. You know what I'm saying? You doing that, and they like, okay, this guy is like, whatever. So then from there, this time I lost track of what the question was.
Well, with Ice-T, what was it
that
you noticed
so
about
I'm doing these things, right? I get the job. But when I go in there, the one thing I noticed, this guy, light-skinned dude, I thought he was white at first, up there. And I'm shaking, I'm like, damn, he going. That dude, I'm looking at him and everybody's watching him. And I'm like, I had never seen no rap show. I was delivering speakers and DJing parties, but we didn't have rappers.
Right,
we had DJs who would say, the roof is on fire. That was it. That kind of stuff. Chants for the crowd. I'm like, man, this dude is tough. What is this? He's like those dudes on,
Right.
Like, he wasn't doing it like Africa Bambaataa and that stuff. He was like, like LL hadn't come out, but it was like,
he was rapping.
He rapping like Run DMC, like Grandmaster Flash. Melly Mel was it though, right? I was like, he's like Melly Mel. That's what it was. And I was like, oh, man. Okay, so I thought he was a star then. So yeah, and then he's charismatic. Like if you talk to Ice.
I've known Ice a long time.
He's captivating.
Yes.
Quite captivating, that dude is. Like, I understand how pimping works, talking to him. It's a mental state. It's like he's a mentalist. He tell you what you want to hear, how to get you right, and blah, blah, blah. He could uncloud stuff for you. Like, I remember one time we were sitting at Otis Parsons, it's a fashion institute downtown, not far from where radio was, but it was a dorm for all girls. I'm like, Ice, how you get us in here? And we sit in the lobby chilling. It's like, I got bitches up in here, blah, blah, blah. And it's like bitches up in there. They coming to him, white, whatever. This dude got the most exotic taste. And I'm sitting there, damn, I like that. I want to do that. I want it to be Ice-T, bro. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. That's how I felt.
Right.
I don't think he knows that. Don't tell him. Now I don't want to be him. I want to be me.
Right.
I wanted to be that. And so I tried to get as much of that as I could. I found that it was mostly kindness, listening to people, and sharing what you feel in your heart. That's what he did. And so I tried to be that.
It's interesting you say that with Ice because I've talked to him and he's told me this several times over the years in different ways, but basically he was saying, and I talk about this in my book, The History of Gangster Rap, but Ice, when he heard Schoolie D, P.S.K, and he understood and he had heard it was like gang stuff that Schoolie was talking about, he was like, wait a minute, because he was in Santa Monica and he heard the P.S.K at a club there and he was like, wait a minute, this is gang stuff? People want to hear this? So when he did 6 in the morning,
he went straight gang.
It was just like, that's what people wanted. And he was like, I got that for days. That's what I do off the stage.
Well, but see, you skipped one, I believe. I think Colors, was before 6 in the morning, right? Or
no,
after?
It was after.
After?
Yeah.
Okay, because like, the way I remember it was like,
well, he had gang rhymes,
yeah,
so maybe he applied some of those.
I saw him rapping them, right, live, so he would have, like, Cold Wind Madness was that record, the first one.
Yep.
And then after Cold Wind Madness was Reckless. And then after Reckless was not 6 in the morning, right?
No.
Yeah.
He had a whole bunch
of other stuff.
He had a bunch of songs that came out before 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning was also the B-side. So the thing was that when that registered, he heard 6 in the morning. He heard P.S.K. and then applied it to 6 in the morning with the flow, the style, the song, and all that. But then when 6 in the morning was what took off, he was like, people like that? He was shocked.
It was the biggest thing.
He was shocked.
Bigger than any other record that took off in the streets. Wow.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, I got tons of that.
Right.
And that's where he turned that to his focus. But he also, as you see on Rhyme Pays and Power, those two albums in particular, because they're the first two right after or his first two albums. Mm-hmm. But you still see, and even the Rhyme Syndicate Coming Through compilation, you see him still rapping like he was at the party. And there were songs like, I'm Your Pusher or High Roller or You Played Yourself. Those records, and Pain and Squeeze the Trigger and all
slid in there.
Yeah, those were part of it, but he also had the Radiotron element.
Oh, Radiotron element. I was saying player element.
Oh, no. I'm talking about, I'm talking about the stage performance party rock.
Yeah.
That was still, you know, people forget that. And that's why the song Power, to me, is so powerful, because it starts off the album and it's more of the braggadocio, freestyle, party type of rhymes. And then when you get into the drama and the, you know, I'm Your Pusher and High Rollers and all that, that shows you his range, his versatility, which all goes to your point of him being like a star. Because he can do,
dude.
You know, people, I think, overlook, underestimate, don't appreciate, because he's such a big icon, period, and then on television and with acting. But like if you go back and listen to Ice's albums, like he has such a wide range of songs and over different types of beats. He produced them with Africa Islam. It's just a whole thing that people don't appreciate.
It's a collage. You get in there and he can swim through like a chameleon and do all those different things because he's an actor. Yeah. So he can be all these characters. And then I believe all of his stuff is like different hymns. All the songs are different. Imagine him acting out all the parts. I mean, because, you know, he writes.
Well, he does. On I'm Your Pusher, remember, he's got the different voices.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You know, Slick Rick did that and made it famous, but Ice and others were doing a similar thing at around the same time.
Yep, but he always has characters within.
Yeah.
That don't do that. They're just there. Like, you know, like that I would consider a character when he gets into the I'm Your Pusher vibe.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And then when he gets into the party radio type vibe, you know, that's another character. But the thing is, he's such a great actor.
Be sure to check out The History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.